you say that you can, so I guess we need to see one. And it was just so laying it out, and so we did that two like Wednesdays in a row.
What I recall from that time and from the conversations and the prayer time is just a sense of human powerlessness. Like none of us even knew, and we couldn't know what was in your brain. To know what the thing was inside there that was doing this, not much less what it meant. We couldn't, it's not like we could, if it was physical therapy, we could help you with that, or transportation. There's nothing we could do to help. It was all entirely, you guys were here, we were here. We couldn't go this way, it all had to go through God. And so that was sort of how the whole map was drawn at that time. And it was extremely helpless and extremely God-dependent time. So fast forward, the rest of the pregnancy, how'd it go?
It went really well. They thought that they would just deliver if another seizure happened, and they put me on 2 different kinds of medicine. Actually, I was on 3, but I had a reaction, and they were very, very nervous. And I don't know, I never had a doctor actually call me at my house, and my OB was calling me at my house, making sure I had 24-hour supervision, that I was never alone, that I couldn't drive. I mean, everything was just taken away from me. You can't work, you can't lift weights anymore, you can't, everything. And so, anyway, I went home with my mom. She flew out, and I broke out in hives, and he's like, "You cannot be alone." And I'm like, what is he worried about? There's nothing. I was so out of it that I had no idea how intense this really was, and how scary. So he said, you have to be with someone. And lo and behold, I wasn't thinking right, but he was afraid that my throat would close, and then I would lose all oxygen from myself or the baby. And anyway, they put me on another medicine, and that was fine. I went through the rest of the pregnancy, and I started, it was 37 weeks that I was laying in bed, and my brother-in-law was living with us too, and I felt the same sensory seizure, and I just started crying. I was like, I can't do this again. And Aaron was very calm. He's like, it's okay, we're gonna do this. And my brother-in-law, Stefan, was very calm too, and it was true. We did it, and we called our OB, and he's like, they were delivered tonight. We're gonna deliver this little girl tomorrow. And that's what happened. And so I had a C-section because they didn't want any more trauma to the brain or any more pressure, so there was no choice to have natural birth. And also what was taken away from me was ever being able to breastfeed. And but it was sad, but it was okay because we had her, and when she came out and I heard her cry, it was like, she's here, and it was real. Anything you want to add there?
It's interesting to hear her say how calm Aaron was, which he was, but the times that we'd go visit, talk to him, and be with him, there was this look obviously in his face that was just like, I don't know what to do. It's just a total powerlessness, and there's nothing you can do, and kind of like almost looking to us like, you got an answer? And so we just kind of stared back at each other, and lots of hugs, praying, and but that sense of, I wish I could bring over, the dinner we bring over would fix it, or what do you do? There's nothing to do, and then to have Peyton, be fine, cry because that's what babies do. It's such a great thing. And to see Aaron just kind of still stand with the same dazed look, but with a relief of, I still can't believe it. I didn't believe it before. I didn't believe it during, and there's sort of a disbelief in a good way,
Mhm.
that, I think we all have. We kind of don't get it. Just that the Holy Spirit and how He works, and that He will work, and He did work.
As I reflect back on the whole story, you guys were broken in some very big ways. Physically, somebody whose whole career is making bodies strong is physically broken. Your plans for all sorts of stuff were up in the air. Remember you dropping to your knees in the hallway as the news kind of hit that one night at the hospital. And I think all of us experienced some of that brokenness with you. And now if I fast forward, just recently we were sitting in your kitchen talking about this morning, and you guys have had a lot of stuff that you've faced or experienced since then. None of it involved a clear explanation of what happened, but career things, financial things, family, all these different ups and downs or forks in the road, whatever. And sitting and talking with you was so obvious, and you guys voiced it when I asked you about it. Your lives are in God's hands, and you know that. And whatever, it was so evident as I heard you talk about, what community do we live in? What do I do for a career? How's the economy going to affect hospital budgets where I work? And all these things. It's like these things were no longer held in your hands. They're held in His. And I think that's just, in a sense, nothing was explained or fixed or resolved. And in a sense, everything was resolved. As we look at the security in you guys' faces, despite the still lurking questions, was pretty palpable.
And I guess after all that, you really do want an answer. Like, well, what is this? And we went for second opinions down to UCSF, and that's what they're known for. And everyone is just dumbfounded. Like, we don't know. We've never seen this. Yeah, we've had some women have seizures when they're pregnant, but that's it. And the mass is still there, so guess what? You have to be on medicine for the rest of your life. And probably not wise for you to have another kid. But nothing nothing concrete. It's like, but you still make the decision. Oh, okay. So here we are, and I am still on that medicine, and we are not going to be able to have another kid. And we don't know what's still there, and it's still there, because if you go and look at my MRIs, there's still